Dr. E. D. Hirsch, Jr. is an American educator and an academic literacy critic. He once said, "We have ignored cultural literacy in thinking about education. We ignore the air that we breathe until it is thin or foul. Cultural literacy is the oxygen of social intercourse." E. D. Hirsch, Jr. is also known as Eric Donald Hirsch, Jr. He was born on March 22, 1928, in Memphis, Tennessee. He received an M.A. in English and a Ph.D. at Yale University. He once said differences in reading abilities between 5-year-olds and 8-year-olds are caused primarily by the older children possessing more knowledge, not by the differences of their memory capacities, their reasoning abilities, or control of eye movements. Dr. Hirsch is the author of several widely read books in America on education and their issues. These books are Cultural Literacy, The Schools We Need and Why We Don't Have Them, The Knowledge Deficit, and The Making of Americans. Dr. Hirsch taught at Yale University from 1956 to 1966. Hirsch was also a professor of education and humanities at the University of Virginia. He founded the Core Knowledge Curriculum. He also said the phrase common school meant rich and poor studying in the same classrooms with a common core curriculum that would foster patriotism, solidarity, a civic peace, as well as enable effective commerce, rule of law, and politics. Hirsch has become that rare phenomenon, an intellectual celebrity. Some of his major contributions were his book, Cultural Literacy. This book was mostly an argument about why nations need a common cultural vocabulary and why public schools should teach it. This book became a sensation and eventually made it to the top of the bestseller list. His biggest contribution was the Core Knowledge Foundation. Dr. Hirsch has passionately argued that schools should teach a highly specific curriculum that would allow children and students to understand things that writers and speakers take for granted, and to fully participate in democratic life. He said, "We will achieve a just and prosperous society when our schools ensure that everyone commands enough shared knowledge to communicate effectively with everyone else." The Core Knowledge Curriculum provides a core curriculum that is coherent and content-specific in order to help children and students establish strong foundations of knowledge, grade by grade. This is given in America between pre-K to 8th grade. This curriculum includes topics and subtopics such as language arts, world history, American history, geography, visual arts, music, mathematics, and science. Core knowledge describes what a student should know, not what a student should be able to do. Core knowledge curriculum is an attempt to outline the specific core of shared knowledge that all students and children should learn in American schools. It's hard to agree with the core knowledge curriculum because this model focuses on clear facts of right and wrong. It also is easy to teach, but students are tested. This does not prepare students to be able to think outside the box in a way of the real world. This method keeps the teachers in an active expert role, and the students remain passive. A passive role does not encourage creative